Hey guys, we got the Toyota Tundra. This is a 2005 4x4 limited, but it doesn't matter. These were, I think it all same on Sequoias, Tundras, and some Tacomas, I believe, but have the typical four-wheel drive problem that I see common online is the light. You push the button and the light flashes and it never engages. You never get four-wheel drive. So what we're looking at here is the transfer case actuator motor right here. So what you got here is you have this hose. It's not, I guess it's somewhat of a vacuum hose, but it doesn't actually actuate anything. But you do want this to be healthy because you don't want moisture to go inside it. So you can cut this off if it's cracked and reattach it. I had to actually get some extra slack by taking it off of this clip up here, if you see it. And so the hose is down on the side here, but it's got a protective cover on it. The other thing you want to know about are these two sensors. I guess this one of them is a four-wheel high position sensor, and the other one is a four-wheel low position sensor. I'm not sure which is which, but one thing, you can't get them confused, I don't believe, because they have different plugs. So those things can go bad, and then your position sensing is not correct, and it won't send a signal to the front differential actuator motor. That's on the front axle, which we'll go see next. Just trying to do a summary because I did a lot of research myself and it became complicated. But just so you know what this whole thing looks like, this is located back where the beginning of the drive shaft heading to the rear wheels. This heads back to the rear wheels, so you know where we're at here. And obviously the front here for four-wheel drive has a drive shaft heading forward, and the transfer case transfers your power to the front wheels. So this thing apparently has a long shaft that goes inside, and a lot of people say you can't replace it without opening up the whole transfer case, but apparently you can take this little cover off here, and there's a spindle gear. You'll see it on a YouTube video, a little spline gear in there or whatever, and you can pull that out and the whole thing will slide off without the shaft. So obviously if you have a broken shaft, you would want to take the transfer case apart, but that's one little trick. The other trick to checking your motor to see if it got dirty is these three bolts, and 1, 2, and 3. Now, one thing I want to caution you is this darn thing's plastic, so you don't need to tighten it down hard. I'm not sure if I cracked it or it was cracked before. I knew it was plastic, so I was taking it easy, but I have splits along here and probably on that one too, but I can't see it. But just be careful. Don't crush this thing too hard. It's got a rubber gasket in here, so you don't need a lot of pressure here. You just need to snug it up. So that's one cautionary thing. So that being said, let's see here. You got the plug, obviously, you check the connections there. This is the motor. This thing works. And if you just turn the key on without the motor running and play with the button, you'll hear these actuators running. And you can get down with a friend maybe or a helper. I actually even used a stick. You know, I was sitting over by the side of the car using a stick, pushing it so I could hear which one. I even put my foot on it and could feel it vibrating. So that'll help you hopefully. But those are the few things you need to know. You take this cover off with these three bolts, you know, WD-40 it up a lot, and then you can see the contacts in there. There's a lot of grease in there. And mine seems to be healthy because I kept my tube in good shape. I didn't let water get in there. But again, this vacuum apparently in this year does not do anything other than protect it from moisture. And I guess maybe it just creates a better atmosphere inside of this thing, but it does not actually pull any diaphragms, I don't think, to actuate anything. So that's that. Let's go forward and show you guys the rest of this gizmo. I put mine up, on blocks, but definitely make sure your emergency brake's on and everything. So here's your front one. Here's my steering mechanism, and then here's your front one. It looks a lot like the other one, but it's got 4 Phillips head screws, and I already unplugged it. You'll see the plugs right here, and it also had a vacuum hose, which was in good shape. But here's my plug. I checked all that stuff. One thing you can do to shortcut this is bring it to your local garage, make sure they got the computers, and have them do a scan on it. So that's what I finally did after screwing around with this and reading. I brought it in and they narrowed it down to this sucker. I knew the back one was working, and this one I knew was not operating, but I thought it might be a sensor switch. They're saying that I'm getting power and everything here, and this motor's just not running. Now, I already took this cover off and checked it. It was clean in there. However, You know, the motor cover is rusty, but I'd be surprised. It spun easily and everything, and I was praying I put it back on right. So I'm not 100% sure. Just be real cautious when you I would take it, leave four-wheel drive off on the dash, make sure it's run its cycle and it's off. Then when you remove this, you can note its position. Obviously, it's only can bolt up one way, and there's a little bracket up there on the higher hard to get screw. These aren't too bad to get to. It helps to have a ratchet with a Phillips head and some extensions and so forth. And I WD-4'd it ahead of time. But my motor housing was clean, so I'm actually surprised this wasn't working. But right now I'm going to go for the Hail Mary and take this thing off and pull that motor cover. You'll see the motor cover's up in here. If you can see it from the side. Yeah, here we go. You can see up there. There's the motor cover, and I'm going to take that thing off. You do not have to pull it out of the differential here. So I hope this helps you guys, because I was doing a lot of research. But if you have any questions, drop me a line. I did my research. So my guys, for 30-something bucks, narrowed it down to this whole motor actuator thing. So I'm going to pull this, try to clean it up, make it work. And if that doesn't work, obviously replace it. I think they're between $200 and $300 for an OEM. Good luck. Talk to you guys later.